Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbins Bourbon. We're down the bar. We're going to be doing a review of Blanton's single barrel bourbon. We've got 2 bottles up here. This one is unopened. Josh is going to be pouring some for us while I talk a little bit about it. If you're a whiskey nerd, you're probably going to know all this stuff, but if you're new to whiskey, here's some fun facts heading your way. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you bet.
Blanton's was created in 1984. It was the first of its kind by master distiller Elmer T. Lee. Bourbon was at a low at that time in 1984. The 80s, vodka, your clear spirits were taking a dominant footprint in the bar scene. So bourbons were really going downhill. They weren't very popular. It was your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents' drink. So the distilleries were closing. They were desperately trying to figure out something new. So Elmer T. Lee, with his history at the distillery at Buffalo Trace, he'd been there for many, many years, decided to come up with an idea. So he said, how about a single barrel project? We're going to create it. And they named it after Albert T. Blanton. He was the distillery operator back in the day, and he would always have honey barrels that he would have Elmer go pick for when he was entertaining guests. And it was always from a particular warehouse. These are consistently still, even to this day, even though Elmer T. Lee has since passed away, they follow the same tradition. It always comes out of warehouse H. It was the first and only metal-clad warehouse on the distillery grounds. It was built shortly after Prohibition. And the reason it's all metal clad, they pull the barrels from that one because the metal isn't as much of an insulator as the brick and the others. So the barrels will age faster. The whiskey will age faster in the barrels, in theory. So it's distillery Buffalo Trace and H warehouse is where these always come from. Usually middle floors, I believe. Is consistently where they pull the Blantons from.
And then you want to give them a little bit about why they have the horses, isn't it? Kentucky Derby.
Yes. In front of us here, you can see this is a barrel stave from Buffalo Trace Distillery. My wife and I went back for a vacation. Each one of these are stopper tops, the tops that go to the barrel. And they represent the places in a horse race, the start, as they're taking off down the track, and the finish at the end with his hand up as he wins. The cool thing about each one of these stoppers, there's 8. There's a little letter embossed in each one. It spells out Blanton's, so it spells the whiskey. And the goal is to buy an empty barrel stave that's pre-drilled, or you could drill it yourself, and fill it with each one of the stoppers as you finish a bottle. And this one...
And those 2 aren't the same, are they? No.
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So, yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Fun facts. So we're going to do a tasting, and then we'll give you our opinions of it, nose, palate. The bottle that we're actually drinking is one of my older bottles out of the collection. This was dumped on September 6th of 2011. So that means you can keep whiskey a long time. It's not going to go bad. You can do that. It might oxidize a little, and this one's getting pretty low, so we should probably finish it. But consistently, they do last. It's not like wine, so.
Cool. All right, should we give her a sniff?
Agreed. Let's do that. Cheers, buddy.
Your brown sugar.
Mm-hmm. That's a great descriptor for this particular bourbon.
It's very, very sweet smell.
Yeah. You get that vanilla.
Mm-hmm. The oak. Mm-hmm. Like I think you said earlier, leather.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I get a real strong leather. Color-wise, it's like a lot of your bourbons. It's got that kind of a darker honey color.
Yeah, this one's it's got a little lighter, I think.
Yeah.
Than I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the last one we were looking at? Can't remember.
Fairly leggy too. So it's when you run that rim around the glass, and I've talked about it in other videos. It's a nice bourbon. It's considered a top shelf bourbon. It's still available
Now, didn't they used to? Wasn't this primarily they used to use them for mint juleps, or is that just some old wives' tale I've heard? Or is that? I know they Woodford Reserve is the main one now, but
maybe in the smaller parties they may have. I don't
maybe that's just
remember
something I
reading
heard that doesn't really
They may have.
matter.
It's an expensive bourbon in our area. What is Blanton's going
60?
for? About 60, yeah, for
Or
a bottle.
40. Yeah, I think it's 59, so 60.
Yeah, high 50s, low 60s.
And it's
Yeah,
I think really well known. I mean, a lot of TV shows and stuff you'll see a bottle of Blanton's or whatever. But it's a good bourbon for sure.
it is. I've got some pepper.
Yeah.
That spice. I think it's that wood spice. The tannins of the oak. The caramel and stuff.
Yeah. I really get that sweetness. The caramel, the brown sugar.
Brown sugar seems really dominant in this.
Maybe that's
Which is the flavors, a lot of your flavors are coming from the wood, a huge percentage of it. All of the color and a pretty big portion, I've heard as much as 60-70% can come from the barrel because it's pulling flavors and sugars and all that out of the layers as it seeps through.
Right.
Each 53-gallon barrel holds, when they fill it full, it'll absorb, I think it was 3 gallons of whiskey get absorbed into the barrel. And then they dump it and that whiskey stays in there.
It's the cost of doing business, I guess.
It is. Yeah, that's smooth. That's a smooth whiskey.
Absolutely.
What other things? I'm getting that caramel and brown sugar and the leather. I get a lot of leather.
I get a lot of oak. I'm getting some oak with it. How aged it? How long is it aged?
Oh, I believe it is 6 to 8 years old. I forgot to include that when I was talking a little bit about it, but I think it is. They're 6 to 8-year-old whiskeys. And then it's being in that warehouse H with the metal clad. I think it may, from what they were saying, it speeds up the aging process a little bit more because of the rapid change in temperature, which causes the whiskey to push in and pull back out.
Yeah, I get that oak and that earthy. I feel like it kind of goes together, the oak and the earth.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to say fresh cut grass because that's way too potent. It's like I can't.
It's so good, it has robbed him of his ability to pull out more descriptors.
That's true. Yeah, I can't get the. Is it? It's like those rolls of sod when before
That
they lay them
wet
out.
dirt,
Wet
maybe?
dirt. Yeah,
Wet
like
dirt.
that. Not in a bad way though.
No.
Like just earthy, I guess. It's just that earth for me. It's earthy.
Maybe that's all the
Oaky.
grains.
Yeah, maybe.
All the grains mixed with the wood. It's all natural.
Yeah,
it's all natural. Never any colors. They're not allowed by bourbon by
That's what I
law. They're
love
not
about
allowed
bourbon.
to put any colors.
It's not been and nothing's been added to it.
Nope.
Well, hopefully.
Yep. Except for when they cut it, because it may come out of the barrel hotter than this. The proof on it is 93 proof, I believe. Yeah, it is 93 proof. For Blanton's, it's consistent. They're all going to be 93. That's what they cut them at. And they cut them with water, just limestone water. So that's the only thing they're allowed by law to add to bourbon.
Yeah, I get the caramel, oak, leather, get all that.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get on this is the orange peel or
No.
fruity at all.
Or toasted marshmallow. You get any of that?
No. Well, no.
I've only heard you use that descriptor
On the stag.
Yeah. Which comes from the same distillery, Buffalo Trace. Totally, a completely different warehouse though, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it sits and opens up a little bit, I'm getting more vanilla.
Yeah, I get vanilla. It's really good.
It is. It's like
I like that.
any of those bourbons, when you sit and let them age a little bit, they tend to open up, and some of the nuances, I think, come out. The little
Age or
things.
just sit in the glass, you mean?
Sit in the glass, not age.
Age for 4 minutes.
Yes.
This is now age for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Don't pour it and shoot it.
No. At least not an expensive one.
No.
If you're over 21, that's a bad idea anyway.
Yeah.
Or if you're 21, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't drink if you're not 21.
I said 21.
Oh, you did. I thought you said 20.
I know you thought.
So I would recommend it.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think one of the reasons we wanted to do Blanton's because it's a well-known bourbon, and you know the Kentucky Derby's coming, and they got the horses, and it's a really good bourbon. So we wanted to review it, and
because we are less than 6 weeks away from the Kentucky Derby, and we are going to have a Kentucky Derby party.
Yep. We're going to do another mint julep video.
Yep. Only
A little better quality than the last one, hopefully.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll be quite as inebriated.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I said you can smell the straw instead of smell the mint.
That's all right. I was spilling your bourbon, so.
That's true. I didn't even get mad.
No.
I think that about wraps us up.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. If you have more videos you'd like us to do, particular whiskeys, products, glasses, you want some information on Glencairn glasses or Norland glasses, we have them, or just plain old rocks glasses, what's good with what, throw a comment down, ask us, and we'll review it, talk about it, give you some education on that too. We also we do cocktails, but request it, we'll probably do it. As always, enjoy your whiskey or bourbon any way you like. Cheers, everybody.